if they do that, the Cougars will be very, 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 very tough to beat.
Wilson! Oh! And we are tied!
Let's go! Call them by Slamma Jamma.
And I don't ever let them forget where we come from.
Getting those phones out. Report me acting ignorant, man.
Baylor empties it out. Quick toss. It's going the other way. Second pick of the night. Jeremiah Wilson finishes this one.
Seventh heaven for Houston. The Cougars advance to their 7th Final Four.
Go Cougs! Let's go! It's so good! The dream remains alive for the Houston Cougars!
Boy, that last saying, it never gets old. It's been a while since I've heard that call by Iron Eagle. Kris takes me back to the Final Four, the comeback against Duke, and perfect fitting. The dream is very much still alive for Houston, coming off the big news today, Tuesday, May 27th. Joining me, well, I guess I should introduce myself. It's been a minute. Andy Yanez. You can find me on Twitter at Yanez, or X, I should say, at Yanez_5. Being joined by Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. Kris, how are you doing on this Tuesday night?
I'm doing very well, my man. Good to see you. We keep in touch, but good to see you, see your face.
Yes, sir.
Salute to everyone commenting so far, and don't worry, our brothers are joining us momentarily. We wanted to start and not keep everybody waiting. So we're starting it with the great news. But I want to say this real quick. Salute to anyone who's watched or kept up with the recent live stream shows on the Houston Roundball Review, because I mentioned the last couple of shows that Less Raid Cougs would be back as soon as Milos Uzan announced his decision. Well, he announced it today, and we're doing the show as promised. So let's get into it.
And joining us, Dayon Dunlap. Dayon, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. Good to see you guys, man.
You like too, brother.
It's been a minute.
I'm gonna give you props right off the bat, my man. Thursday when Milos had his Warriors media event, I sent Dayon the link, and Dayon said, "Quick with the quickness." Yeah, he's coming back. Yeah. You were right, brother.
Well, it became official early Tuesday morning. No, my bad, Dayon. I just said it became official early Tuesday morning. Head coach Kelvin Samson spoke to reporters at 11 in the morning this very same day. And, Kris, I sent you a message yesterday asking you, is Milos coming back? And there were breadcrumbs all over everywhere yesterday. You kind of laugh because this is kind of how you got to put pieces of the puzzle together in 2025. But you had U of H send out the link that Kelvin Samson was going to do a Zoom at 11 in the morning. Then you had Landon Gosling tweeting out, his random emoji tweets that he likes to do occasionally, which usually he does right before, something big is going to happen with the U of H basketball team. And then you had Ryan Monsell of GoCougs.com tweet out a photo of Milos Uzan. So putting the pieces together, I thought there was a lot of buzz and excitement that Milos Uzan would be back with Houston. And lo and behold, early, I believe it was at not even 7:30 in the morning, the news officially broke that Milos was going to be withdrawing his name from the NBA draft and coming back to Houston.
Yeah, it was early. I thought about it last night. I was like, I'm sure Coach Samson would wait for Milos to make his announcement before telling us anything at 11 o'clock. Right. So I assumed it'd be before 11, and it happened like 4 hours ahead of that. So, yep, we saw it. The different guys posted it, national guys posted it, and then it was on Instagram, etc. And then the school account posted it as well, and here we are. And of course, the second piece to it is with Milos' return, Pop Isaacs is now going to Texas A&M.
Yeah, it makes sense. But with Milos, I kind of expected that. Not only, really more or less, I just think it was outside of the money, of course. It was more the game for him to come back and show that consistency of what he showed throughout the second half of the season, sort of say. And I just was kind of putting myself in in his shoes and kind of piecing together some history from Marcus and Jamal and getting that feedback, having a good year, now coming back and seeing if you can build upon that, how much that would not solidify him in his draft process, but just make his chances of being a first rounder and getting that guaranteed money, like his pop said, even higher.
Yeah, my only thing was, since Los has only been in Houston a year, I don't know him like I got to know Marcus and other guys for 3-4 years. Right. So in my mind, and this is not a hater comment. It was just, I don't know Los or his dad well enough, because folks have said one thing and then didn't come through with it. They both said if he does not get guaranteed money, he would come back. Well, it looked like, based on his combine performance, the guaranteed money was not going to happen. So only thing that would keep him from not coming back was if they decided to change their minds and go against their word. But I, like I said, I don't know them like that, like I did Marcus and other folks. So that was my only doubt about anything like that. So it was all good.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that same. Of course, that you're closer and around the team even more, and so I was kind of thinking that in a sense, but kind of more in the less of not only if he gets that guarantee, but just kind of looking at the landscape of guards and what Houston has coming back, and of course he got his spot in which just more the gain. I think, of course, the money is if you get the guarantee, the money, so you can't say that, but. Low first round, second round versus even a better chance of being in a top 20, top 25 pick, I think would show more consistency of what he showed last year.
And this was his second time going through the draft process. He did it.
He did OU?
Yeah, he did it at OU as well. So
I wonder what was the difference. That's probably a good question to ask him.
Yeah,
an availability feedback versus then OU.
But I want to see it. I see the comment from Mr. Big Texco.
That's a good question. That's kind of what I thought too.
Who places that scoring?
Because I didn't see Pop as much as a point guard versus, remember at Tech, he was a good shooter and a scorer.
Right. So, it could be Los. It could be Chris Senac. It could be Isaiah Harwell. It could be, who knows? I mean, the options are there. That's for Coach Samson to figure out. It could be more minutes and more time for Mercy Miller to shine and come through offensively. Mm-hmm. So it's a question. It's a good question to have. We got to see who's going to answer that question. And the guys, some of the players will start arriving as early as tomorrow, Wednesday. But they can show up Thursday, Friday. Really, check-in deadline is really the 31st, excuse me, this is May. And then be ready for June 1st for the official meetings and all those good things. But yeah, some guys, if they're probably here in town or nearby, they can start reporting on campus on the 28th.
Yeah, I think I wish I could be a fly on the wall to see those battles to compete for the minutes coming into the season, earning spots. Because just casual, well, I don't say casual fans, just fans look at 5 stars and McDonald's All-American automatically think, oh, he's gonna play, he's 5-star, he's 5-star, he's 5-star, versus actually coming in and competing against other good quality players who's been in the system, whether it's Mercy or whether it's just you name them, and being able to actually earn your spot. Because I've called high school tournaments where it's 4 stars and 5-star. There's players in the 80s, 90s that's busting their ass, pause. Yeah. But it's like really getting. And so I wish I could be a fly on the wall to really be able to see the competitiveness. And I know Coach Samson, like his media ability I watched earlier, he's like, he doesn't talk NIL. He doesn't guarantee players certain positions. So I wish I can, and I think that's why if I was a player, just putting myself in their shoes, I would want to come play for that. Let me compete and earn my spot. Let me come and show why I'm this coming out of high school or what I got, what I've been working on. So that's something I'm really looking forward to see, because he did that even last year with Mercy and Malik, letting them early in the season who earn your spot, earn these minutes, and Malik stepped up. So that's something I'm really, really looking forward to.
It's dangerous to assume but we would assume Emmanuel, Milos, and JoJo are 3 of the 5 starters.
Oh, no question.
Yep.
Oh, well, I ain't gonna say that, but
they're
gonna have a
I
spot
agree.
for sure.
Yep.
And then it's gonna be a question of most likely, I think, Chris Cenac, because in terms of big men,
so
talent-wise, he's supposedly there. Transfer from Sam Houston, I think he's gonna be the backup big man, first big off the bench. Coach Samson is very high on Chase McCarty as a shooter. I mean, he said last year.
I've been hearing a lot of that too. I've been hearing a lot of talk about Chase.
Shoots like LJ Cryer and Emmanuel Sharp.
And he's a bigger body.
Flemings. So then Mercy Miller.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like I said, it's just gonna be it's a great problem to have. The question is, the first comment we had for the show and tonight's show from Not Too Complicated was championship or bust. I mean, that's the goal. The goal is to win the chip. You know, they were 3 points away from winning it this past season. I'm looking forward to the journey once again. The non-conference schedule is going to be challenging. Big 12 play is going to be challenging. I don't expect them to only lose one game in Big 12 play. I mean, because the Big 12, you know, no shade on them being a good team and talented. But y'all know how I feel as we've been doing these shows. The goal is to get those 6 wins. In the season with a 6-game winning streak. Whatever happens before the tournament starts will be nice and fun to enjoy, but get those 6 wins to end the season.
Well, you guys both alluded to Kelvin Samson and what he had to say to reporters this morning. Let's hear specifically what he had to say about Milos Uzan. And Kris, you started off right off the bat asking him about Milos, and here's what Kelvin had to say earlier today.
What are your thoughts on Milos' decision to withdraw from the NBA draft and return to UH?
You know, whatever he decided was going to be fine with me. You know, we tell all our guys to, you know, if you put your name in the draft, be selfish. This is your life, nobody else's. You don't feel obligated to anybody. These guys didn't, when they come from high school, they don't want college to be their last stop. You know, a lot of them, the ones that have those aspirations, want to play in the NBA. You know, Milos felt like that was the best decision for him, and so good for him.
Thank you, Kris. We'll go to Chris Baldwin with Paper City, Houston, please. Chris, please go ahead.
Hey, Kelvin.
Hey, Chris.
How much contact did you have with Milos, you know, during the draft process, and what did you guys talk about at the very end?
Not much. You know, I saw him in Chicago and talked with him before he played. I think that was a Wednesday, and saw him, talked to him about some things that I thought he needed to be good at in those workouts. You know, those workouts mean a lot to those teams. But after that, probably didn't talk much at all. Text, you know, I texted him and asked him, was he healthy? He sprained his thumb in one of the workouts, was bothering him. But I think he called me. It was either Friday or Saturday, and that's when he told me he was leaning toward coming back. I said, just make sure, talk to your parents, talk to your agent. If you feel like that's the best decision for you, then do it. If you feel like staying in the draft, and I think had he stayed in the draft, he would have got drafted. I talked to 3 or 4 teams that like Milos a lot. But, you know, usually when kids go into draft, like Quentin, Marcus, that have a chance to come back, they're all looking for feedback. What is the feedback? And if I'm not going to be drafted high enough, what is it I need to work on? And so he went through the process, got his feedback, and then made a decision. I think it's pretty simple.
That he has a full year under his belt and he can continue from where he left off towards his back half of the season.
Yeah, all these questions are easy answers. I mean, just look at Quentin's second year. Look at Marcus's senior year. Look at Jamal's senior year. Look at J1. I've had people ask me about did I wish that J1 could make threes? We're 2 points away from winning the national championship with a guy that never shot a three. So why is that important? If JVR and JoJo don't get in foul trouble, who knows? Maybe win it. But we won it with a kid that never shot a three. So obviously you can win different ways. But Milos is an easy kid to coach because he's high character, and he's the areas that he needed to improve in last year are areas that he still needs to sharpen up on and get better.
Once again, that was Houston Cougars head coach Kelvin Samson. Not going to be the final time that we hear from him on this edition, on this episode here tonight. But let's talk about it, and I'll ask it again when Fluff hopefully joins us here soon. But if you guys were in the shoes of these NBA GMs and all the personnel that go into giving feedback to these players, what do you feel like Milos needs to kind of work on to this time next year, make sure that he's being able to get a guaranteed contract when he enters the NBA draft waters a third go around?
Breaking down a defender more, beat him off, dribble more, being tougher against the better competition. I looked at his numbers for Houston's last 3 games in the tournament. He was a non-factor. His numbers were really bad. Final 4, he what was he, like 3 for 20? I mean, he was 3 for 12. He was 1 for 8 from 3, and like 3 for 18 or something overall. So he struggled against the big time competition. Walter Clayton, all that. So step up against those dudes more, but really beat his man off the dribble more, and be more of a finisher at the rim. And hopefully, as Dan and I really said a lot this past season, if we see more lobs from Los to JoJo and Kris and, the bigs.
Yeah, I mean, just like what Kris said, definitely consistency to break the defense down and beat his men off the dribble, whether that's to make a play or to score. I think that's something consistently that I would look at. But not only that, I think it's a mentality that I'm looking at. I'm thinking Jamal's junior year versus his senior year. Now, Jamal didn't come in a scorer, but when he left, he was aggressive to do what the game dictated. And sometimes where that was just getting downhill, and whether it's trying to score or make a play, but just putting his head down and getting downhill. So it's like I said, making a play, but more or less having that mindset, because you think last year, LJ was the captain and was really looked upon a lot to score. And so it was often times where, like Coach Samson said, Milos, we might need you to score 20 tonight, like with those are his words. And so it wasn't like he was the first option. It didn't really seem like that. But now, being a upperclassman, being the point guard that led a team to the national championship, getting the NBA evaluation, now putting all that together, and like Kris said, playing great or good against stiff competition, and whether that be scoring or playmaking, because as a point guard, the scoring is a plus, but you can still be impactful and effective without scoring and really can dominate a game and really can control the game as a point guard, especially in the way that Houston uses their point guard to have the ball so much. And so really so much, like Kris said, breaking down the defense, being more consistent in that, but just having that mentality to where if I need to take over, I need to take over. Or if I just need to get Emmanuel a shot, I need to get him a shot. Or I need to get somebody a shot. Just those type plays of having that IQ, seeing the game, being aggressive, understanding it, and just putting it all together. So more or less it's just a different mentality, like I'm here now type of thing. Like it's my team. Like I'm the one.
Right. That's I was going to it because Coach Samson is part of one of his many Samsonisms, catchphrases. Is he said it about Quentin? I think he said it about Jamal, probably LJ as well. For a lot of players in the system, there comes a point when their mindset changes from renting to owning the program. This is my team.
Yeah.
Los get to that point. This is my team. We're going to go as far as I take us. That'll be a big plus for the team going forward. Questions about who's going to be the number one scoring option, time will tell. Okay, we can say a lot of things right now, May 27th. But the system, Coach Samson, he's told us his system, he doesn't have guys who will average 25 points per game. But he will have guys who can score 25 in a game
per night. Yeah.
And the Cougs got that. I mean, Emmanuel has that. Los can do that. I think Kris can do that. Kingston Flemings with his quickness, at some point will probably get to that point. We would love to see Mercy Miller get to that point at some point with his development. So the options will be there. It's Coach Samson and staff will make the pieces fit. Because one thing we know, the defense and the physicality defensively is a constant.
Yeah.
That's going to be a constant. The scoring could be just based on who the opponent is that night. Coach, as Dale says all the time, Coach Samson lets the game dictate how he's going to coach that game. So if there's a mismatch on an opponent, coach is going to find it and exploit it over and over. That's part of it as well.
And that being said, let's welcome in.
Perfect timing, Fluff.
Fluff, McKiver.
What's up, my guys, man? Long time coming, man. What's going on with y'all?
What's up, family? Perfect timing, though.
Man, for my fellow Cougs, man. What's going on? Talk to me.
Everything's going great. It feels like the first day of school here. It has been a minute since we've hopped on here, getting back together, reminiscing.
All right, Fluff, just for you, brother. Good to see you.
Good to see you too,
text
man.
All the time. But your initial reaction to hearing Milos coming back?
I was really hoping that he did come back. Not shunning anything or any dreams that he had for himself as far as being an NBA player, which I think he still will be. I just was happy to see that he's coming back, of course, for the Cougs, and also another year to help develop and hone his skills and to what he needs to be, that big time player for the next level.
That's the question that's the question that we just answered, that Andy answers. Now that he got the evaluation, what you think that from evaluation he got, what he did last year, what can he work on, or what can he do to put himself in the best position to reach ultimately where he's trying to get to, and that's the league, and really just had the best season for himself in Houston.
Well, I think that Cryer being gone, I think that puts pressure on him to really, really, have the responsibility to make sure that he's scoring and facilitating equally. I think that that's going to be big time for him, because now this year, with the young guys coming in, we need him to be that big time scorer, big time facilitator, and also defend as we know that Coach Samson wants us to do. So I think that responsibility is going to put the pressure on him, because we know he had a lot of great moments last year. And I remember in the beginning of the season, we like, ooh's got to bring it. And he started to bring it, and he had a great year. I think that him having that more of a responsibility will be even a bigger challenge that I think he'll step up to.
Yep.
And I want to say this, Coach Samson, he mentioned this during today's media session. Ramon Walker's presence and return and availability for this coming team is going to be huge because Ramon, he appeared.
Did we lose Chris Freeze on y'all screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking, man, maybe my Wi-Fi ain't rolling.
Chris, you
right.
froze. You froze.
Hey, I was about to finish his statement. I know exactly what he was about to say too.
That's weird because I was saying it.
Go, Chris, go back because you was stuck.
Okay.
So go back.
You said Ramon Walker at Pitt, and then you stop right there.
Okay, well, let me say it again because I heard myself say it, then everybody froze. But Ramon, he epitomizes the Cougar culture.
Yeah.
The toughness, the hustle, the diving on the floor for loose balls, the going into the seats for anything. So he can teach that. He can show guys, he can show them, he can tell them and show them what it means to be a Cougar, what it means to be a hard worker, what it means to have that blue collar, not blue blood basketball culture.
No doubt. No doubt.
And not only that, to add to it, just thinking about what Malik gave last year, he's gonna bring that type of toughness, that type of tenacity. Now it's just about what else he's gonna bring offensively. Because we know, like Chris was just saying, he's gonna be like this comment right here. He's gonna be the culture warrior. He's gonna defend. He's gonna do everything that UX does defensively and toughness wise. But now it's gonna be in spurts, like we needed from last year from Malik. What else he's gonna be able to bring intangible wise with that? But to pivot a little bit, I mean, what we need to see from Emmanuel, I think we see how he ended the year, had some big tournaments. What's his next evolution of his game to continue to develop and take that next step as a hooper, as a basketball player?
Hopefully he stays healthy first.
One.
But consistency, no doubt. Consistency.
I think that, this year he's gonna have to, I think Emmanuel is gonna have to dig in his bag of being more of a facilitator because not saying that we want to take the scoring away from him, but he's gonna have to pick and roll and drop off the pass to the big. He's gonna have to make that, cross court pass for the, the guy coming from the corner. He's gonna have to make plays for some of the young guys who might need to catch and make things happen. So I think that, he's gonna definitely do all the things he needs to do, but at the same time, I think that he's gonna have to be more of a driver to the basket. I think he's gonna have to, really just, create for others more this year than he was called upon to do last year because that basically was Ooze and Crier's job, like basically the whole game. And even Roberts, if he commands the double, you know what I mean? He's passing out of the double. So I think that, he's going to have to be more of a facilitator, come the season start.
This is a good question. And
agreed.
One of the things that there really is exciting about this upcoming team is that there's just so much obviously there's so much talent that there's just so much versatility in how this team can play. Not too complicated. He asked, who will be the Cougars' low post threat next season? Obviously, Jawan Roberts no longer with the team. Who's going to be the guy that slows down the game for Houston?
I mean, I assume Chris Senack. I assume that. We speaking upon development. I want to see the next step for JoJo. I mean, it was very, very sparingly when they threw it to him on the block, and he actually made a post move and scored as a low post threat. And so I want to see that development. Does he take the next step offensively and become a low post threat? I mean, we only seen Chris in high school, but from what I've seen, I think he's going to transition very well. I expect Coach Samson to isolate him in that mid-post area to allow him to whether beat this man off the dribble, kind of like he did with J1. So I expect Chris, but I want to see Chris Senack. And we know Chris, can you give him 30? KG?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Hey,
No.
even Fluff can give him 30.
He said that time, Fluff. He said that. I didn't say he said
They still on that.
Nah, but I
No,
want to
that
see
was
Joe.
crazy, Chris. I was like, wow, I done really got over the hill, man. Dang. You know what I mean? But I've been working to get back in shape, so you know what I mean? Maybe I can teach some lessons to some young guys this summer. I don't know.
You gotta come down here, brother. You gotta come hang with us one time, man.
I got to.
Now I expect Chris, C-Mac, but I want to see JoJo too, though. I mean, what y'all think?
I think JoJo needs to really, and I hate to say this because sometimes you just don't know what a guy's ability is, but because I was gonna say JoJo needs to work on his offensive game, but it never was his role. So I don't.
Right.
It might be things that he got that we don't even know he got.
No, that's a good point.
So I will say I'm gonna wait till the season comes. You know, by default, we need him to do more with Roberts and losing Cryer. We're gonna need him to do more. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I can't say what he need to work on because I don't really know all the way what he got. I mean, his whole role was defensive rebounding. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
We
saw with Javier Francis this past season, right? Just a little bit more, just the work and development that had gone in with U of H in spurts. And Dayon, I remember this. I can't remember if it was during the Big 12 tournament or the NCAA tournament, but you mentioned like, hey, they should go to Francis more. He's shown his versatility in the post. Lo and behold, that next game, JV, I'll never forget this. Javier Francis
going to work,
quick,
low post, everything. Yep,
smooth was
national championship game.
Best player.
He came to play.
Yeah,
he came to play.
Yeah, and foul trouble hurt him and his team in the championship game because that dunk he had that needs to be part of the NCAA highlights.
Oh my God, yep,
for forever.
Yeah.
I mean,
but that just goes to show
what's going on with Francis.
I haven't heard any updates. I thought about him Saturday or Sunday about getting an update. I don't know, but I mean he's not coming back here, so.
Man, I sure think that he could shine if he stayed at another year in college. He could be a double-double. But like to Fluff's last point, that wasn't his role. Just imagine it was a game where J1 took 18 shots. Yeah. I was just imagining. Imagine if Javier took 18 shots in the game, had that many touches.
He'd be 13 for 18, 12 for 18.
Yep.
Yeah.
So and that's going to be a question that needs to be answered because most Coach Samson UH teams, he has a low post threat.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times that's how
he tosses the ball down to even go back to the Breon Brady days. The first play of the game, going to Breon Brady.
Kind of thinking back to Jarris, even though Jarris kind of was there, but he would play a lot in that mid post area to where he could put it on the floor. That's what I kind of when I'm envisioning from what I've seen from Chris Cnet.
Yeah,
the ability to kind of catch it in that area and slow the game down, like Coach Samson like to do, but also have the skill set if he needs to catch it on the block and be able to do that as well.
This for all of y'all. We are pretty sure Coach watches this show or gets feedback from this show. I sure would like to see Coach, and the players have to earn it, clearly, but go to 10-man rotation. 10-man because this team on paper looks really, really deep. Up front, backcourt, go 10 deep. And I mean, game in, game out. Not just non-conference against some weak team, getting there by some run. I like to see him in Big 12 play going 10 deep. And wearing folks down with the physicality of defense, but also giving them buckets. And y'all can't stop us. Okay, we're going to crush you defensively and light you up offensively too. What do y'all think?
I think we got to go 10 deep for what we have.
Yeah.
I don't think if we go with our top 10 players that we have, I don't think anybody deserves to just sit on the bench. My opinion. I think all 10 can play.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, we could name them if you want. If you guys
Yeah,
want to run it down.
I got it right here.
Run it down.
Go ahead.
All right, and it's
I mean, start with the starting five, Chris. We know it's starting five.
Sharp.
Or projected starting five.
Yeah, Sharp, Los, JoJo.
Yeah,
that's three for sure. Chris Cenac. Probably Isaiah Harwell. Probably. That's 5. Mercy Miller, 6. Kingston Fleming, 7. And that's not in any particular order, so I'm just going off the list. That's 7. Big fella, Khalifa Sacco from Sam Houston State. Be the first big off bench. That's 8.
The sniper,
Ramon
Redshirted McCarthy.
McCarty, that's 9. Ramon, that's 10.
Did we mention Kingston?
Yeah. I said Kingston.
Yep.
I didn't say Cordell. I didn't say Sid. I didn't say Jacob. So at 10 seems to be rock solid.
Well, I think we 10 rock solid. And I think that besides Ooze, because, Coach is big on history. Coach is big on, listen, he was in this game. Like, the guys that was in that national championship game, they are going to play.
No question.
no question about it. He's not wrong. But I think that besides Ooze, Sharp, and
JoJo, it's up for grabs. Not saying like it's not even. I think it'll be different. Not saying different lineups, but it'll be different combinations throughout games that he'll try and go with. He has a lot of options. He could go 3 guards, 2 bigs. He could go. I think we might see him do a lot of times. We might see him go 4 guards, 1 big, or 4 perimeter players, 1 big. I think with this team this year, we have a lot of options for the Cougars of what we could do. I really wish I could see that. Like I said, being a fly on the wall to see the competition. Who's gonna earn them that second wing minutes? Like, cause I mean, you got Hartwell, you got Mercy, like, but you still gotta go. You gotta. Why I want to ask you this, Day, and I think Chris just said it, but why you guys know who my favorite freshman is? Kingston? Who's my favorite freshman? Kingston Fleming. So this is my thing. Why are we saying Hardwell that fast? Because I think Sam gonna view him as a point, and he gonna run him as a point, and he gonna have him right behind Milos. Just in my objection, how I view it, I think he gonna kind of develop him and work him as a peer point. And I mean, not to take away his game from his. You don't think he can play with Ooze too?
Yeah, you talking about Kingston?
Talking about Kingston.
Yeah.
Kingston.
Yeah.
Can he play with Ooze too?
That's
I think there'll be stretches.
But I think just the way Sam operate, from what I've seen, if you a point, you gonna back up the point. I mean, I think like Fluff, like you said, Fluff, there'll be different lineups where he gonna play with. But I just from how I see it, I think them other wing spots is up for grabs. I think his time is when Lowe's gone, this you all the way. I think it's that type of deal. He might not guarantee it to him like that, but I think that's how it is. But those other spots, I think it's a little different. Yeah. But with Hartwell being in Mickey D's McDonald's All-American, right. But also Mercy being there a year, that's why I'm wondering, like, I think Mercy's the odd man out. Can you sit on the bench? Can he come off the bench? Or
Chase McCarty.
And Chase McCarty.
Yeah, he got redshirted.
A shooter. Yeah. He's saying that he
Coach Samp is how, I mean, like, the staff is how.
I'm hearing that too.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that too. A lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think Mercy's the odd man out.
Could be.
My opinion.
He's going to get a chance to earn it, though.
Yeah.
So Mercy,
and that's what I think,
and Isaiah.
I think Kingston is going to show us something early in those practices. I know we're not there, but I think he's going to show us something early that he came to Houston, Texas to play.
Yeah.
And,
So you see, Fluff, that's why we got to get you in there so we get that insight.
Yeah, because that makes sense. You're right.
Yeah, because we can't watch all the practice like you can.
We can't come to practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, JR, you want to say what's up to the podcast, man?
Little Fluff.
I'll be a Cougar one day, man. You never know, man.
Here you come. Here you
Hey,
come.
Coach Sam just extended. Fluff, what up?
What up?
Say it. Go Cougs. Say it.
Go Cougs.
They know this time. Come on, man. He know what's up.
That's right.
He know what's up, man. We ain't fronting over here. He know what's up, man. Come on now. But I don't know, man. I think we got a lot of great problems to have.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, by far.
I think we got a lot of great problems to have.
You know, on paper, this team has more legit NBA prospects. Now
we're
we got
like
to
in
see
a
them
Kentucky situation, man.
See them put it together and match the Cougar culture and the toughness, and have that talent match the toughness, and just enjoy the ride again. Because there'll be preseason, whatever. You know, I don't care about start the season number one. I want, and we want Houston to finish the season at the end. Number one. That's what I want.
Are you guys think we start number one?
Oh, I think so.
Some folks say yes. Florida might start number one.
We
top 5, top 3 though.
Hey, Florida lost that boy, man. I don't never want to see him again. Okay, light skin, man. But I don't want to see him again, man.
I mean, they got a lot of players.
I wish them all the luck in the world. I want him to be blessed. I wish him all the success that he can get in the NBA. But I need him to stay away from me, man. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
You know, there's some Rocket fans want Walter Clay to be a Rocket. So, you know, I've heard that.
Wow.
Move down the draft. Do what you got to do to draft him. Get him at 10, whatever. Rocket fans want him. But, I mean, Florida's got talent coming back.
That's a whole nother convo, though.
You know,
can talk.
Michigan got talent coming in, transferring. Like I said, preseason stuff is nice. It's for marketing, promotion, all that kind of stuff.
It's for us to talk about.
Yeah. But come tournament, we want Houston in that last poll of the season, Houston to finish number one.
Yeah.
Because I still want it to happen. I think next year is in Indianapolis, I still want to become that meme, y'all. I still want Andy Dayon.
Where's the Final Four at next year?
Indianapolis.
I think it's in Indy, yeah.
And Indianapolis has been a really, really good city for Houston recently.
Yeah.
So,
well, you know, I'm super excited that, you know, we're going to start the season off together and have a lot of things, you know, going together with each other, you know what I'm saying, as far as before we get to those moments. So I think that it's going to be great to go on that journey with you guys, like from the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, looking forward to it, man.
Because I kind of came in, like 3/4 season, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
Or mid.
Yeah, when did you come in? Was it
I think it was right before conference play.
Yeah. January or so?
Okay.
It was around that time.
But yeah, you know, it's gonna be good to come in early. But you guys are right. I gotta do my job. I definitely, you know, if I come in town, I go right to practice. So you're right. That's gonna be good content for the podcast. We're gonna make that happen for sure. I got more time as far as, you know, the schedule up here with the program and stuff like that. We are gonna make that happen for sure. 100,000%.
Excellent, because we got 18 Big 12 conference games, 13 non-conference games. So Coach Samson got his wish about the league going back to 18 conference games. And
he say something, they do it. That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
he led the charge, for sure. He led the charge. Yeah.
So Samson say, listen, I wanted to go. I don't like that shot. He don't even say, go, we should do this and do that. He say it, and then it's kind of like a suggestion, but like a demand at the same time.
Yeah.
And it changed. You know what I mean?
That's how he did with that Houston and Kansas game in Mexico. So he was like,
No,
and
I'm
they
not we're not
changed
doing
that
that.
before it even.
That ain't happening. We're not doing that. So, and Coach, I mean, we don't cover Kansas. I'm not sure. Coach Self is probably around 60-something, I think. But in terms of being vocal and outgoing, Coach Samson, like Fluff said, when he says it, then other coaches, Coach is right. Yeah, we need to go back to 18 games. Yeah, they started saying it more and more and picking up in their press conferences and all that kind of stuff. Coach Samson began it. Coach Self picked it up. Then Coach TJ picked it up. Coach McCaslin, on, and here you go. It's back to 18 games.
No doubt. And it's like, you know, as you get older with the game, you start realizing, like, you know, we always talk about work hard and all this other stuff, but like those kids at that level, they need rest too. So as much as they're working, they need to be, you know, recovering and, you know, getting in the ice, you know, the ice sleeves on their legs and, you know, having more days of recovery so they can, you know, be their best self when they, you know, step back on the hardwood.
Another thing, recent news for oh my bad, Andy, but another thing for Houston news that we hadn't really talked about was Coach Samson extension. What you guys think about that? I think a few more years of extension. What you guys think about that? Does he see his extension all the way through? What you guys think?
I said no. I was asked that before, like a day ago, and I said no, thinking positive.
That he gets the
because
natty.
Gonna win a natty, then try to get it back to back, and then it'll be done. that's what I think. Because that's 4 more years.
Young Fluff would be by the grave. You ready? They be knocking on his door.
So, I mean, Kellen's okay with it. His dad's still in charge and everything, but the full 4 years, I'll still say no.
Okay.
I'm gonna say yes with this. And I know how much we love our Cougs, and you guys know I love them just as much as you guys do. But I'll say this. We're probably not going to get 3 and 4 years. So if we could get 2. So if he gets 1, right, that'd be his first one, right?
Right.
Yep.
Okay? So you got to think about it like this. He's a competitor. He might not admit it, but he not think he knows he's as good as Krzyzewski. He's as good as Bobby Knight. He's as good as Beall Self. I think better. Sorry, Bill. It's no big deal. Okay? He's better. You know what I'm saying? He feels like he's better than the guy from Auburn, whatever. He's not gonna say it, but I'm just saying that he feels like he's better than Calipari. So what I'm saying is if he gets 1 championship, right? That's gonna be like, damn, where Izzo got 1. What if I get 2? They might say I'm better than Izzo. Boom, he get the 2. Now he passed Izzo. Damn, I get 3. How many Mike Krzyzewski got? 4?
5. I think 5.
5. Calhoun.
So.
3. 2.
3.
Okay, damn, I get 2. Now I get 3. I'm in a different conversation. Because Hurley got 2 and is not really a better coach, in my opinion. I'm not gonna get into no trouble, guys. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm in Connecticut, but it is what it is. I'm in Connecticut. For everybody that follow me or whatever. Yes, I live in Connecticut. I'm in Yukon land, but I am a Houston Cougar. There's nothing to hide about it. I don't care. But what I'm saying is that, you know, Hurley has 2 championships under his belt. He has 2 in a row. So I'm just naming guys. The guy from Baylor has 1. I'm just naming different random guys saying if
Calipari got 1.
He's gonna become addicted.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
So that 1 might turn that extension from 28 to 32 or 3 because he's not gonna just bow out after 1. If he wins 1, he's not bowing out after 1. He's gonna try to go get another one. So then when he go get another one, he might fall short of Final Four or the championship game, damn, I gotta go back next year to try to get another one. Time go by quick, man. So you know what I mean? It all depends.
And I would say hearing him talk today, he loves the situation here in Houston. Getting to work alongside, you mentioned Kellen, Kris. Obviously, he also gets to work. It's a whole family affair with Lauren also on the staff. And I think the quote he said today is being able to work with his kids really extended him multiple added years to his career. I think he said something along those lines earlier today. So, I mean, he's in a great situation. And going back to your original question, Dayon, about the contract extension, yes, not adding years to Kelvin Samson's contract, but also one of his main priorities, getting better pay for his staff. And I believe he was asked what was his desire in those negotiations, and he said for them to be at market value.
Yep.
And not to be in the same zip code, but to be in the same neighborhood. When he coined it. I mean, that's a big priority for him. And I again, that goes to show, I mean, before Quanis took the Louisiana job, like Kris, they had been together that core had been together for his entire time he's been there in Houston.
Coach Casey probably was the last of the core. Well, I think Goldie was. Coach Goldwire maybe in the most recent one to join the core, but Hollis and Quanis and Coach Samson, go back to when those two played for Coach at OU. So, yeah.
They was damn good too, bro.
Yes, sir. Yep.
That was number 10 and number 4. I was a little boy. I used to watch them. They was number 10. Hollis used to wear a wristband. Hollis wore a wristband right here. Okay? And Quanis had the cornrows. They was cold, bro. They was cold-blooded. You know what I mean? So that like you said, those are like his kids too.
Yep. And I think obviously as long as he gets to work with them on the staff, I think that's just going to continue to extend years, in my opinion, and until he is satisfied. And Kelvin Samson could very well be the type of person that is never satisfied and just kind of keep going and going and going until maybe he really reaches the line. He's like, you know what, enough. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if he reaches the end of that contract.
Y'all kind of know I'm going to go with the answer to this question. What do y'all think? Will Houston have the player of the year on the team? Probably Big 12, yeah, or freshman of the year.
I think
freshman of the year, yes,
for sure.
Player of the year in the conference.
Yeah, I think it'll be Chris Senack or Harlow.
Yeah, I think
Chris Senack's gonna
Chris
have
Senack.
I don't know about that.
Who would you put, Chris, or who's in that?
Because they got old boy at BYU too.
BYU, AJ at BYU.
That's right.
You gonna put up some
Darren
numbers.
Peterson at Kansas.
Damn, we gotta play him.
Darren Peterson at Kansas.
Yeah, they gonna put up some numbers.
Damn.
You're gonna put up the numbers, yeah.
I just thought about it. I mean, damn, we got
at the same
AJ
time,
and BYU. Why didn't we get I gotta make a call, man. Why didn't we get one of them?
What you mean?
Oh man, why we didn't get it just came to me. I wasn't even thinking this whole time of recruitment. Why the hell we didn't go get Dwayne Peterson or AJ DeBasser?
BYU got more money than our collective.
Okay, got it. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. Okay.
On that one.
The bag they got.
That's fine.
The bag they got.
Come
from
on,
BYU.
AJ. You could have came to us. You went to BYU for the $7 million, AJ. You could have came to us for the $5 million.
We ain't there not yet, Fluff. We ain't that level yet. Not yet, no.
3?
For one player, we didn't need to talk off the air. Talk off the air. Yeah.
Player of the year, I think Milos can have that type of year.
Yeah.
Yeah, player of the year, I think is going to be more a team award.
Team success, yeah. Team success. Best player or a player who has
Jamal Shedd's season.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think he can do that. He can have that type of year.
Yeah, I can see that.
Even Emmanuel has maybe could. I don't know. But I would say Milos first.
But yeah, freshman of the year, freshman's more, individual numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't see Chris or Isaiah or Kingston or whatever, getting that. Because Peterson at Kansas, the ball's gonna be in his hands a lot,
Yeah.
a lot at KU, and AJ DeBanza as well. I'm looking forward to the games, the Big 12 matchup, seeing what games are gonna be on ESPN, CBS, ABC. How many times? Probably the conference will probably schedule Houston versus BYU twice because of the freshmen, the 5 stars. You know, so yeah.
Kansas twice, done in the past 2 years.
Gotta have Iowa State twice too.
I hope so. Yeah.
Well, on the topic of schedule, I have one more video I want to play from Kelvin Samson, where he hints a little bit about the non-conference schedule. And here's what Kelvin Samson had to say about Houston's upcoming non-conf.
Kelvin, have you schedule-wise any little nuggets there, exhibition, anything you plan, or anything that's like contracts done that you can share?
We get a lot of requests on those exhibition games. That's how I remember Tony Bennett and I were talking. He wanted to come to Houston to scrimmages like Duke did. Who else were we scrimmaging? But anyway, he wanted to scrimmage, and I just said, why don't we just play, Tony? If you want me to come to Virginia first, I will, or you come here. And that's how that is. Coach, I think NIL has really impacted home and homes with teams. You see more and more neutral site games because there's an NIL component with it. And I don't really like that because I think there's a responsibility for the coach to play some games at home. I'd like to play some of these games we're playing on neutral sites. I'd rather be playing them at home in front of our fans so our fans can see our team, because our fans are such a big part of our success. But it's hard to pass up the dollars that you get playing these it's like the Players Era tournament. I know who we're going to play the first 2 games. I mean, I don't think I'm allowed to say it right now. But then we have some other, we're playing Auburn and Birmingham. That's a return. We're going to play another game at, I guess that's a nugget. We're going to play another game at the Toyota Center this year. We're going to play another neutral site game. I'll just say the Northeast. So our schedule's about done, though. I think I try to get the schedule done as soon as I can, but our schedule's always good. There's a reason why we're where we are with the net every year. It's because we know how to schedule here. We're really good at that.
So once again, that was Houston Cougars head coach Kelvin Samson talking about the schedule.
Here to UConn land.
You think so, Fluff? Chris, what do you think
Northeast, bro?
I'm gonna smile.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm gonna smile because,
where you going?
Because I'm just gonna smile.
Fluff might have hit it right on the head.
I'm just smiling.
He's just smiling. He's not saying anything.
Not saying anything. I'm just smiling.
I'm gonna cut a rug.
I'm just smiling.
I'm gonna cut a rug.
I'm just smiling.
If them Houston Cougars come, listen, when they came before, when the Houston Cougars came before,
when it was an American,
they was an American. It was cool. Mm-hmm. It was cool. I went to the game. It was cool. I sat right behind the bench. It was cool. But if they come to UConn country this year, I'm willing to get kicked out of the state. They're gonna come. They're gonna have the truck outside my house. They're gonna say, "Man, it's time for you. You're gonna have to go." You know what I'm saying? That's how crazy that'd be if them Houston Cougars come here and play them UConn Huskies, man. And we ain't losing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yo, Andy, send me this, man. I'm gonna drop that on Connecticut tonight, man. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Yeah. Cause they be on me like. They be on me
smiling.
like I'm gonna say something different. They go, well, Fluff, you from Connecticut. I go, what the hell does that mean? I went to the University of Houston, bro. Okay, I wore red and white for real. What are you talking about? Northeast, he ain't going no. If he say Northeast, he is coming here, man. Oh man,
And Chris just keeps
yeah. Hey,
smiling.
listen, man. I had to get y'all up here, man. Y'all gonna have to come. We gonna have to go
Yeah, I'm
do
gonna,
that
I'm gonna
game
have to make that
live
trip.
in Connecticut, man. Come on, that's the big one. Chris probably coming to that one.
We might have to have a group call, brothers. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, on top of that, he mentioned Auburn. They're gonna play Auburn in Birmingham.
Did Pettiford stay in the draft? The freshman?
Pettiford gone, bro. Pettiford, man.
Because he was killing
tomorrow's
it in the
last
draft
day.
too.
Yeah, I think
He was killing the draft. His little scrimmage
Oh
stuff.
man, he was killing, bro. I think he gone.
Yeah. Okay.
And then obviously we know they're going to be part of the Players Era, the festival in Las Vegas, which Kelvin said in that clip he already knows the two opponents they're going to play, but
smiling there too.
He said he can't announce it yet. They're going to play 3 games again, correct? Right, Chris?
Yep.
Hey, I think Coach Samson should go with the whole white beard on him.
He should.
I seen that. I said, man, Coach, man, just go grind me on him one time, beginning of the season, man. Just come with the all white one, man. I think that'd be good on Coach.
But yeah, let's really see if we can make it happen to get to Vegas for the Players Era Festival. We could Thanksgiving.
Yes. When is that? Thanksgiving?
We got Thanksgiving.
Week of. Yep.
So the week of Thanksgiving.
This past year they had games on Tuesday and Wednesday, but the Wednesday game damn near was at 11 o'clock Houston time, so might as well have been Thanksgiving. I remember because we did we do the show that we did it with shoot, I remember that. That was the first ever we did that show from 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
But so I mean they're gonna have a pretty good non-conference schedule, which again, thinking back to all those years when fans would complain about their non-conference schedule, I mean it seems like this year's non-conference schedule, Houston's gonna have a lot of marquee matchups, both in non-conference and then obviously, of course, we know once the Big 12 conference schedule begins, every night there's going to be a marquee matchup.
Agreed. And like I said, it's just a question of which teams in conference play the Cougars play twice. And I hope BYU, Iowa State, probably Kansas. I really don't care about playing them twice. But for sure, BYU, Iowa State, But looking forward to the competition as always, and we're gonna enjoy this ride, enjoy the journey. Fluff gonna be with us from game 1 this year.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be a great season, brothers.
I'm excited, man. I'm ready for it, man. It's gonna be great, man.
There's one last question I want to put up, not too complicated. Kelvin Samson has a 764 win.
That's not right. Based on what Conrad had in the release for coach's extension, coach has 799 wins.
799? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
He won the
national. If he would have
the
been
national championship game
would have been his 800 win.
Yeah, so that's not counting this year's season.
Okay.
Yeah, Cougars 35-5. So yeah, that's it right there. That's not counting this past season 35-5.
So the official update record from the news release, Kelvin Samson has compiled a 799 win to 354 loss overall record in 36 seasons. And in Houston, 299 wins, 54 losses, which is crazy. If they would have won the national championship, that would have been his 800 career win and 300 at Houston. But the question still stands,
1,000, bro.
How many wins will he retire with? Fluff, you say 1,000.
I think Coach Samson is gonna coach another 8 to 9 years.
How old is Kelvin?
69.
69. I mean, shoot, dude, I could see him at least get to 75.
If his health is in
if
it's as we pray it is, if his health is intact, he will coach. I'll say that from what from what I'm judging, I think if his health is intact, because you think about it, it's only one movement that he will make, meaning that if he stops coaching, he goes from the office and being, like you said, being around his kids and being around the staff to the couch. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, if we're just being honest about it, he goes from there and being active and going to the games and whatever to just being home. That's going to be a hard.
He could be a fundraiser though.
True.
He might be the program's first general manager.
I was thinking that too.
We don't have
I
it.
think that no.
We'll talk about that later.
Nope.
No, we don't have
I
a
think
GM.
they'll keep him in some capacity too, regardless of whenever he does retire.
He'll be like Mike Krzyzewski.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
How is Mike
they need a,
Krzyzewski?
He's in his 70s. Yeah. Oh wow. He's up there, and he's had more health issues than Coach Samson has. But yeah, I'm just saying to y'all, brothers, y'all just don't go far. We in the live stream.
Okay.
Well, on that note, that's pretty much gonna do it for this special edition following the news of Milos Uzan returning. This is gonna be it's exciting because it's a really loaded 25-26 roster for the Houston Cougars. We're talking about this barely May 27th. So Kelvin Samson said the first game of the regular season for Houston will be November 3rd. So we'll see. Though hopefully those 3 months Zoom, or not 3 months. I'm thinking ahead. Those 5 months Zoom pass quick, and before we know it, we'll be starting a brand new basketball season. Big thank you to everybody that took the time out of their Tuesday night to join us on this edition here on the Pod Slam Jamma YouTube channel, the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, or on the X account Pod Slam Jamma. Those platforms, or maybe you're listening to our audio only platforms. Whenever you may be listening, big thank you to each and every single one of you guys. Follow us on social media, Pod Slam Jamma on X, Pod Slam Jamma on YouTube, Let's Rage Cougs on Instagram and TikTok. And that being said, I'll toss it over to you, Chris.
Thank you, Andy. Appreciate everyone joining the discussion on Let's Rage Cougs. Andy and Dayon, I believe, are going to be at Big 12 Football Media Day in July. The Houston Roundball Review will be there as well, so you can support us year-round. Support Pod Slam Jamma, support the Houston Roundball Review. Advertising options are available for us, and if you want to be part of helping us, our trip to Vegas for the Players Era Festival, or help us be part of our road trips for games, non-conference and or conference, email Andy with that info. But as always, thank you for your support. We appreciate it. As always, spread the word about Let's Rage Cougs. Spread the word about the Houston Round Ball Review. And I'm going to wrap it up. For me, since 1994, the Houston Round Ball Review. Local name, global perspective.
I did my headline different this time. We got to fix that, Andy. But just want to say shouts to the guys, shouts to the podcast. Congratulations to Coach Samson on the extension. Very excited about our team coming up this year. Fell short of national championship game. I think we're coming back even stronger. And, we're stronger together, man. Alumni is strong. Everything around the school is strong. So, looking forward to a great season. Our handle, Fluff, McKiver, Elm City Elite, got some young puppies that's coming up in the game that will be on TV coming near you in the future. And, God bless everyone, man. We're gonna make this thing pop even more next season on the podcast.
He muted there.
I was just saying, of course, I was excited to be back aside. You guys, man, very, very, very long overdue. I'm looking forward to the season, man. I think Houston is now about to really be recognized as an upper echelon program. I expect the football team to take a next step. Basketball already kind of set the standard But I think year-round women's got a good head coach, and I think they about to turn it around. So I'm really excited for my Houston Cougars and where we're growing in all sports. I expected us to continue to compete all the way into the top and be a true powerhouse, man. As always, go Cougs.